They say you cannot choose where you were born, but smart people choose where their kids will be born. Citizenship by birth is the ultimate power move in global mobility. It's not just about giving birth. It's about giving your child a life without visa queues, border interrogations, or awkward embassy appointments. It's a next generation gift of freedom wrapped in a hospital blanket. And while some parents are busy picking up nursery colors, others get busy picking up the best country where their children can be born. Today we're talking about giving birth abroad and why smart families choose Canada over the US. The right of soil is a legal concept. It is the rule that automatically grants citizenship to a baby simply because the baby was born on the territory of a country, no matter their parents' nationality. But here's the catch. Not every country is this generous anymore. In fact, true right de Soli is becoming a luxury. Canada and the US are one of those rare countries which are continuing to maintain the rule. Some of the parents are talking about giving birth in the US to secure an American passport for their baby. Sounds glamorous, right? And also sounds powerful, right? But here is what most people don't know about. Sometimes what looks like a golden ticket turns into a golden handcuff. And today I am going to talk about why giving birth in Canada is quietly becoming the ultimate smart move for global families. So why the Canadian passport is one of the best assets you can give to your child at birth, and why the Canadian passport is better than the American passport. As I mentioned, both Canada and the US maintain the right of soil for children who were born in the country. So the kids will become citizens automatically. The newly elected president of the US, Mr. Trump, wanted to cancel the right of soil to the babies who were born to parents of different nationalities in the US, but the courts withheld this initiative. So how the rights and the obligations of kids born in the US and in Canada split? Let's talk about it. First and foremost, the US applies citizenship-based taxation. Translation? Okay. Your child will have to file tax returns to the US government for the rest of their life, no matter where they live. Even if they never return to the US, even if they build their life in Europe or in Asia, America wants a piece of their income forever. Canada, zero global taxation on non-residents. Your child gets the Canadian passport and can live anywhere in the world without worrying about the Canada revenue taxation system, which means freedom, clean, and no drama. The strengths of the Canadian and the US passport. Let's talk about the quality of the Canadian passport first. Visa-free access to 185 countries of the world. No military service obligations. No tax reporting, as I mentioned earlier. Respected everywhere, from Europe to Asia to Latin America. And the cherry on the top, Canada is politically neutral, socially stable, and doesn't get caught in international conflicts like the US. That means that in every part of the world, Canadians are really welcome and loved. Try saying the same with a US passport in certain regions. Not always, and not necessarily. Next, and super important for the young parents considering giving birth in the US versus Canada, is of course education, universities, and the cost of the studies. Let's be honest, higher education in the US is obscenely expensive. Ivy League universities in the US can run you from $80,000 to $150,000 per year. Compare that to Canada. University of Toronto, one of the top 20 universities in the world, costs a fraction. McGill University in Montreal, world-class education, global ranking, affordable tuition, for all Canadian citizens. My daughter graduated from this university. In Canada, your child can have access to some of the best education in the world without a problem and for a much lower cost than in the US. Canadian graduates, just like the US graduates, are highly employable worldwide. Therefore, Canadian education is equally as good as the US education. And now let's talk about giving birth itself and the cost of giving birth in either the US or in Canada. In the US, you can be looking at about $50,000 and up between the hospital and the doctor's fee for the delivery. In Canada, the price of hospitals and medical doctors is significantly cheaper than in the US, and you are looking at about $15,000 to $20,000 for the delivery of your baby in Canada. A super important note for everyone who is considering between Canada and the US in 2025 for your baby to be born. In 2025, the Canadian passport ranks higher than the US passport, making it more desirable for global travel. Specifically, the Canadian passport is ranked 7th, tied with Malta and Poland, while the US passport is ranked 9th. This means Canadian passport holders have visa-free access to 188 destinations, while US passport holders have access to 184 destinations, which is 4 destinations less than the Canadian passport. So in conclusion, giving birth in Canada is not just a beautiful life moment. It's a strategic investment in your child's freedom, future, and opportunities. I am Jane Katkova, a Canadian Immigration Counsel and your next passport strategist. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments to this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and of course, I will see you in the next video.